Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. You all know my name, Tony, and so thank you. Thank you for coming here today. I see familiar faces, I see some new faces. It's always good to see all of you here. And so a big hi to everyone. On behalf of our staff, and you also see some faces here. There are people. We have staff from RCMI, another center responsible for providing service and support to our partner universities. Yeah. So today we're going to do some exciting things. And so first of all, a big hi to everyone. And using the opportunity today, we are going to talk about some new practices that we are going to implement. And hopefully throughout those new practices, we are able to indeed make a difference to our students' presentations and writings. And so of course, that means that we are going to learn new things and we are going to do something which may be a little bit different from what you are used to, but I can guarantee you that throughout those practices, we can help students to better see where they are, to help you to better see where they are. And we are hoping that throughout those new policies and new practices, we are able to bring our students back, not just using your services just once, because we all know that miracles will not happen just with one meeting. So we are hoping that they can keep coming back. So we are going to do something hopefully useful, effective to help you as a tutor to know where they are, to know each person's individual profile, and so that you can provide better plans for what they can do, what you can do to help them to better improve their writings or presentations. And we are also hoping that I think my colleagues are going to explain more in detail with the new, we tried very hard to produce some materials supporting self-learning materials for our students, including books, including podcasts, including, well, a lot of useful information. We are hoping that you can use them in your tutoring sessions. And also we are going to introduce AI, including Sensei, and also which is designed to help students practice their speaking. We are also going to use ChatGPT in our tutoring sessions, but please do not take me wrong. The use of ChatGPT is not just to help students to correct their grammar. If that's the case, that's we have very little things that we can do for our students. The use of ChatGPT is to help you to better see their profile. And we are going to explain in more detail about the things that we ask our students to do. When they first come to you, what are the things that you need to do to work with them so that you can have a better idea into their profile. And unlike what the other universities, including Taida, National Taiwan University, they also ask the students to use AI. But basically what they do is just ask the AI, giving the prompt, okay, correct the grammar. And then that's it. But it shouldn't be just like that. We need to make better use of AI. So today, my colleagues are going to tell you more about the things that we can do. And of course, my colleague Yatu is going to tell you more about what the program Sensei is and how to use that. And hopefully, if you find it useful, please use it in your tutoring session. If your student come to you seeking for help to improve their speaking or presentation skills. Right? And I'm going to give the floor to my colleague, Yatu.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony, and thank you everyone for being here. A great shout out to the new semester and every tutors on board, right? Because this is a new start that we upgrade the services to the next level. Today with us, we have current tutors that serving provided services. We also have some future pre-service tutors who's also being taking the training today. They are here and they're online. I would like to briefly tap on this because we see the nature of the tutors in class to help teachers and the tutors outside of the class to help students with their academic writing and speaking as the same thing. We think that you can both serve the role as tutors and the TAs. That is the reason why we are making this as a shared session to celebrate the nature of that these people can definitely help inside and outside the classroom. That's the reason why we bring this session also online to a greater scale so that every student in this nation, in the university could seize the opportunity to become a future tutor. Okay, so that is the purpose that we are doing right now. And also, as Tony just mentioned, congratulations to all the accomplishments with the tutors' efforts that we work together to not only help the students to get some insights from your session, they can also get some insights from that outside of the session. It's because that we got lots of videos, lots of resources that they can use. So again, we also want you to get familiar with those resources because those resources are the things that you can assign to your students, saying, well, I see this as a good complementary resources for you. Why don't you go back and take a look? Okay, so that will be the second half of the day. We will be talking about what kind of resources that you can also bring to your session to serve as an extension to your tutoring sessions. As I mentioned, that this session today is a shared session. So my colleague Yiqian will be taking 3 minutes to make a quick announcement based on the nature and also the regulation of these courses. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gun. And I'm Chen from RCE Center. Now I'm going to announce the Academic Literacy, Talent, and Leadership course information. So the first one is Moodle, a Moodle platform. Please use the Moodle account provided by EMI Research Center to log in and get the course link for synchronous online participation or non-synchronous viewing of the recorded lecture videos to make a full class. And the second is don't forget to sign in. Before the start of each class, the center staff, which is me, will provide a sign sheet on Google Meet for students to sign in. Students who participate in the physical lecture, please also enter the online meeting room to fill in the sign-in sheet. And after signing in, students may leave the online meeting room and participate in the physical lecture. Third, about how to make up lessons. So each lesson is synchronized with an online video, and the video will be linked to the Moodle platform on the same day or the next day, so that student can watch that video and do AI oral practice on Sensei platform within 7 days to make a full lesson. And the last, so course completion criteria. So every student has to attend at least 6 hours of the course and complete the AI oral exercise of each course within 7 days, and complete the course feedback questionnaire within the time limit by December 13th. So a certificate of completion will be issued. So let's go about the course information. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, today, as mentioned, there will be 2 halves. The first half is to introduce how AI could be beneficial, especially for the tutoring session. So we're going to look at that and we are going to collect your own insights. Together, we got a comprehensive understanding of what that is about. Kindly urge you to use your phone to scan this QR code so that we can work on the collaborative interactive whiteboard online. That requires a minute or 2 for you to log in and to give out a slide of your personal information. Someone wants to join the call.
What do we do on this slide?
We are going to collaborate later.
Okay.
All right. So you're in. As I can see on the page, you're in. So firstly, when we are talking about AI, especially for academic writing, a lot of people raise questions, right? Well, some seems to think that there's no room for academic writing when there is already AI. Because they think that AI could be the replacement for the process of writing. But in fact, We don't see it this way. Later on, my colleague Allison and Chong'an will also be reinforcing the policy of using AI in the center so that we can have a clear understanding of how we're applying it. But firstly, let's think about why AI. Let's move down a little bit so that we can see a lot of post-it down there. Yes, the purpose of using AI. Why? I'm inviting you to use a post-it down there and then to tell me that if we are using AI, what benefit do you see for you, for your students, for their listening, for their speaking, for their writing, for their reading? Are there anything that you can take advantage from AI? I'm inviting you to contribute some of your insights here with a blue blanket here.
Not yet. 就让他们提。对。
So you can, so what you can.
I don't see that sticky note.
You don't have the bar?
你在说前面是跳过，可以拍起来，让他们，因为刚刚有些人
后面看起来比较不好注重，
有的微的拍起来。
好，谢谢。
Because you're using phones, is there anything that we can do? Just because you need to like log in. If we don't have that, it's okay. Can we just share it and whoever can access to this just to use it online? But can we just share it and my assistant will be helping you to put up those stickers up there. Now, what might be some possible benefits that when it comes to using AI?
Get a new perspective.
Get a new perspective. Can you elaborate on that more?
We have limited brain capacities. Sometimes we need some help.
Right.
AI can help you brainstorm and think about something from a different perspective.
I love that. Thank you, Anthony. Exactly. When students get down to writing, they're not just writing word by word. Firstly, they have a process of brainstorming, and that is oftentimes this phase that we encounter writer's block. What to write? So many ideas, right? Or what to write? None of the idea pop up in my head. Well, in this case, you are taking advantage of using AI. You are asking AI to give you some ideas, and then you can choose from. Okay? So you're still the master of writing. I think brainstorming is quite a good idea, right? Very nice. What else? What else can we use AI to help us write or to help us speak? Faruqi, do you have something to share? Not for now.
Okay. Because I'm from a translation background, so I tend to consider questions from that angle, right? So for me, AI can help us make sense of a difficult text. So for example, if I get a Chinese text that's very difficult for me, I can ask AI to translate it into English first for me to get a sense of what it's talking about before I actually, go into more details.
Oh, that's a very good way of using, right? You take advantage of that to overcome some of the words that may be a hurdle to you, right? You want to ease down the entry barrier by using AI so that you are, although using not a native language, but you have no problem access to that. Okay, that is a very smart way of doing. I'd also put some ways up there. When we were talking AI, especially with our previous discussion, I think the focus is on writing, right? How about the focus on speaking? Have you ever heard any of the platforms or the application that can help to boost their speaking ability? And that is AI powered. Anthony, you smile. You gotta be smiling. Oh, thank you. Shout out, Sensei. All right. Well, there are plenty out there, but we found one that we use quite suitable, and we found that they can be adopted into all kinds of situations when it comes to tutoring. So that is the thing that I'm going to present later with how you can use that. So yes, with AI, we can see the benefits. But again, I want you to see that when we are using AI, we have good reasons. We're not just, making our job to AIs. We are actually very clear about what we are doing, okay? And very clear about the role of AI that we are incorporating in our session, okay? So later on, our center, my colleagues is also going to tell you what are the good prompts that we can use when it comes to AI. And what are some useful practices that we inbuilt so that you can just, assign to the students for them to practice. Now, for them to practice is also a very important thing. It is because when it comes to the language learning, sometimes, although I know you are all very friendly tutors, right? But they're still very shy and they're like, I'm kind of scared saying a word in front, like a new word in front of someone whose English is already that good, and I'm still trying. So with those empowerment, with the devices that they can do it in their own pace, at their own space, where they feel safe, actually empower learners. That is the reason we see AI-powered oral presentation practices platform will be something that we strongly recommend you to adopt. Okay, so and you can easily go to the backstage to see the performance or the progress that students are making, and then you can easily point out the room, the area for improvement for later use. That is the reason why Tony mentions that we are helping students, and we realize that any kind of development requires a minimum dosage. So that is not one time only, definitely, right? We want them to come back so that we can see where we can help them. And we want this to be a structured manner. So we're looking for records. We're looking for records in words, in their writing prompts. We're looking records in audio clips as well. So that is the reason why. All right. And you know what? With the AI-powered thing, we're looking for instant response and feedback for them. So they're not just recording, but nobody rating them, right? So there will be, I don't know how I performed, right? And if that system can instantly give students feedback, that actually will motivate them saying, I'm doing quite okay, right? Or we do have teachers who use AI, this AI, they are EMI instructors, they are college professors, they use this and they also learn as a learner, right? As a student. When they saw that they got a 89 points from AI, say, 89 is not bad, but I can't live with that. I should go over 90, right? So people got all kinds of different motivations that excel them. So I think that's really something very inspiring. So today, later on, my colleagues will be talking about how you can use ChatGPT. For this session, I want to closely look at how we can use AI oral platform to help our students. Okay. So firstly, we got so many benefits. I'm going to leave this page to you. I'm going to download all this on page to you after today's session so we can all get a copy here. But I think it's great that we can move to understanding student tasks. Can we move to the right? And there's a, yes, I know they are very small for now, but I believe that our discussion has covered the most of these points. Now, let's think about, as Anthony just mentioned, as Mei-Xin just mentioned, well, there are different process and progress when it comes to writing, when it comes to, developing a English piece, right? Firstly, it comes with writing and then it's being presented orally. Or firstly, it's just like self-discourse, talking to oneself, and then to be formed into a writing piece. Either way will do, right? But we all realize that with our students, especially when they are taking EMI in the courses, there are so many things going on there. So what are they doing when they come to you? What are their worries? What are the tasks that they need to achieve? Can you tell me some of your understanding or some of your prediction? Michelle, can I hear something from you? What do your students bring to you?
Normally their term papers, or their thesis, or dissertation, conference paper, something like that.
That sounds serious, right? Those sound serious. So those, like graduate students, they may work very hard on that. They are very motivated and they, have high standards, I hope, right? But we also have a lot of undergraduate students who's taking EMI courses. What are the challenges for them? Can I have the name, please? Background? Can I hear something from you? As undergraduate students, what would they be facing in your prediction?
I'm not sure. I'm a new tutor. I haven't gotten any requests yet, but I'd imagine that students would probably want students involved in some amount of research would probably want someone to help with their dissertations or like research papers, or if they're in some kind of English literature class.
Right.
To see that their arguments are well constructed.
Oh, arguments well constructed. Thank you very much. That's one, right? Students can be asked to write papers. Those papers can be regarded as one form of argument. It can be essay. It can be report. It can be case studies. It can also be reflective writing, right? Thinking about the journey of their learning, or thinking or reflecting about an action that they have done, and then how would they make some revision to upgrade it, things like that. Those are the things that students are facing, of course, for writing. As for speaking, are there anything that students need to overcome in order to get, to engage in the EMI classroom? I know.
Hello, everybody. For those who do not know me, my name is Anna. I am under service. Okay, so yes, Professor, I believe that they will be worried of how to organize their ideas to deliver a message in the amount of time that they have to give their speech. They could be also worried about even like from the pronunciation to the way to what they need to complement, or what like other materials they can have to enhance their presentation. And also even those who are afraid of public speaking, that also could be some interesting issue to address.
Wonderful, Anna, wonderful, right? When students are in the classroom, they may struggle at how to kindly disagree with others. That can also be something, right? Or how can they be really assertive enough to, defend their claim, things like that. So those are the things that they use academically in their classroom. They need to, speak out loud. That's one thing. Not to mention they're always being asked to do presentations, whether it's a chapter or some, concept, ask them to. We love split classrooms, right? Yes, so those are definitely lots of challenges for students to overcome. Yes, so as we understand that there are all kinds of different tasks that students are working on, right? We understand how to break down, saying that to kindly disagree with others, right? Firstly, you may ask them what kind of situation, what kind of topic, right? So that you can work with them. Maybe you can also do the role play with them, right? Try to figure out, and also with the resources that the center provides, you can have a lot of phrase banks to work on with your students. Now, it doesn't come in one time, so they definitely need practice for later. That actually bring us to the main part of today that I'm taking over with the video sharing that I will be introducing Sensei to you. All right. So here's the, I'm taking over the video sharing. So yes, wonderful. All right. So this is how Sensei looks like. This is after you log in. But before, I want you to experience as a student, because later on you will be having the teacher's account. So On the screen, you will see the teacher's interface, which is my screen, right? But with your phone, you can see the student's part. So I'm kindly asking you to leave your email here under the A column. Whenever it's vacant, you can just use it. Give me an email that you use right now. Leave it here. Okay, so this is exactly how you do to your students, okay? This is exactly how you enroll your students to your lesson. Thank you. If you see a box with a color and with gray, that means that somebody's using it, okay? Do not use those columns. That column which is blank, and insert your email. You are using you're establishing an account as a student, not a teacher. I know some of you have already got an account as a teacher, but today we're working on that as a student first. All right, I'm currently getting some emails. I'm moving my table here so that the camera can also get me in. Once you got emails, this is the case where you have many students. If you just have one-on-one students, that will be very easy, but I'm going to show you both. So here, I'm going to download this in a CSV file, and then I'm going to Sensei. I'm going to create a class. Basically, as a tutor, you will be assigned to a class. Your name will be the class, okay? But under the class, you can give out as many lessons as you wish to. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. Now here, this is Cal. So I'm going to make this class as a Cal workshop, okay? Cal tutor training workshop. That's the thing that we're doing today. Under this class, I'm going to invite students since I got many. So I'm going to use the CVS upload. But if you just have one student, you can just directly with the consultation session, you say, how about I assign something for you to work on, okay? And then you ask for their email here, all right? But with me, I am going to just upload a CVS file that I just downloaded from you. It should be here. Okay, as you can see, the emails are here, and then I invite you. So what you will be having is receiving an email asking you to quickly log in to my class as a student, okay? So I noticed that I have some students already joined in. So if you go to Sensei, then you can just have a entry of a class called Cal Tutor Training, and you will see things popping up there. Okay? As you can see with my page, this is a web-based page, so there's no app. It's all about browsers, okay? So it across from different devices. Once you're here, the status of the students will turn from pending to active. Notice that you will be having a lot of students, right? because every week you may have a lot of students. So once in a while, if the students stop coming to you, what you need to do is to click the delete button. All right? So we talked about the policy. We might delete them in a weekly basis, but it's basically up to you because currently, how many accounts are we buying? Allison? How many accounts of Sensei are we buying? 100, yes. So 100 is for the whole center. So the capacity of a week is 100 registration. All right. If the students coming for the second week, that's good. Then you don't have to delete them. If students are not coming, you need to delete them. Otherwise, we cannot add more students. Okay. So the 100 students does not last forever. As long as you delete it, let's see who's still inactive. All right, here, I find myself here. Once I delete myself, I'm no longer up there. Okay. So, so the 100 remains 100. That's the reason, that's how we work this, okay? So that's how you work this with your students. Okay. So as the course, the classes will be registered under your name. So the entry is your name, okay? So once you get in, you can create a new lesson for students. Let's do that. What kind of lesson can we do? All right. Let's see, firstly, we think that students may need some pronunciation, right? All right. So when we create a first lesson, okay, let me go back to that. Let's say we put Sonia. This lesson is especially for Sonia. There is a student coming to you, her name is Sonia, you're working with her in the lesson, and you realize that there are some areas of improvement that you can utilize since they use Sonia. Let's do this. I'm going to put this lesson under your name. Okay? Let's say Sonia requires some terminology to be pronounced correctly. Otherwise, it will be a disaster, right? When they're presenting something really academic, you want to make them right. Give me a word. Oh, I heard something there. I'll go with that word. Okay. Multimodality, right? Modality. Okay. Now, you can put this word there, multimodality. And then I say, I'm doing one at a time. Okay. Sorry, I need to go back a little bit. Sorry. I didn't show you this first. Okay. First, they got different kinds of types. If you wish to help the students to pronounce, you use the reading type. Okay, so that's what we did. Under Sonia, the first task is a reading task. Reading. And it's the single word, a term called multimodality. Why don't you do that? You go to your lesson. Do you see that task there? Did you, if you go to the process that you get in and you log in, supposedly you should see the lesson and you see that exercise. Do you see that? All right, I want you to take a minute to try how that goes.
老师他填了，但是他没有被加上学分的，但好像是有
因为他可能在老师会入之以后才
哦，所以老师要再汇一次，才有办法汇他。
所以应该是要看一下那个现在的比赛的流程。所以要看一下我现在打到的里面的历史。
他下在讲
有关我直接手动加入。
所以现在只要进去你的，只要进去你的 Sensei，然后你要去，你就要看那个。All right, have you tried successfully? What does it give you? 95. Okay, so a score. You got a score. Aside from that, what do you get? Did you get a smile? Yeah, you get a smile emoji, right? Okay, what else? Did you get some stars? Did you get some stars? Did you get some stars? No star for you? All right, that's good. So you got 95. No. Okay. If you click that score into it, do you see a breakdown analysis of your reading? You click that score. Do you see a breakdown analysis of your reading? Do you see that? Okay. I am getting you to use this as a student because I want you to guide this to your student. Okay? If you click to the score, you will be able to see the breakdown. You need to create an account. Are you studying as a student or as a teacher? Okay, then you come to my classes. I can do it. For those who are already in and could not get in, please use this pin. Please use this pin to get in. For those who has already in but cannot get into the class, please use this QR code or this pin. Okay? I'm going to show you one more time how you do this. Once you get to the class, you gotta share here. So when students are somehow lost, you use this to help them as well. That's on your page, okay, as a teacher. Great, it's working now, right? You're there, wonderful. So you can see that it's very easy to use, even though there can be some technical issues, but very easy to use. All right. With that, all right. What I'm going to do is that I want you to get in. Once you get in, you record it, you got a score. You tap out the score, you can get breakdowns of the analysis of your pronunciation. You know, we are not making a fuss based on one word, but it comes handy when they are reading a longer sentences or even a paragraph. Okay? So that's how people do it. You can teach them how to do that. All right. And you know what? To help your students, I find a kind gesture that I would like to share with you, is that when we notice that students are struggling with certain words, well, the best way is not to explicitly say, hey, multimodality, or I don't know, I'm just making it wrong. But you don't try to, pick up those words and say, no, try it this way, okay? What you do is that by the end of this session, you may probably kindly say, I noticed that there are something with some words that you can work on to improve, especially to sound more scholarly. And I've created a lesson for you. There are some words that I heard that I think they needs or worth of further practices. If you are willing to do that, you can scan this QR code. Or if you're willing to do that, I am, putting you on my list so you collect the emails. So out there, when they are there, they say, oh, there's a lesson for me. There's so many exercises there for me. They will appreciate your kind touch. Okay, they will, because although we're very kind, we're doing one-on-one, still they're, here at the first time, and they are trying very hard to tell people when they are working right now academically, it can be very challenging. So, lower the anxiety is one of the key reasons why we're using AI, right? As we mentioned earlier. So I want the approach to be soft and gentle, all right? So you don't have to, directly point out the areas of improvement, but you say, I took some notes while we were working, and I think that these words, if you have some time to practice them, would definitely help with your current presentation. Why would you like to try that? Things like that, all right? So that will be a very kind approach for them. In the end, chances are they'll come back. They'll appreciate your kindness and being so gentle to them, right? Once you got student recorded, how are you going to use the result? Take a look at this, okay? We got students recording here. Do you see that? I got recording 35 of recording already, and then we got the total recording time with 45 seconds, 31 word count, things like that. So these are things that you can track their progress, but even better. What you can do is that you go to your students, and then you can see those breakdown with the analysis here, right? And then you can see if there's something that you can work on with them later. Now, we got very good feedback. We got very good results here. I'm going to just take some and then to see if the recording, can, let's see, go to the students recording. Yes, here. You click on the students, you can even listen to the recording. Okay, if the students have done the task many times, you can just ignore the poor ones and look at the other ones. And when the students are doing this, they are actually getting this as well. And you can also compare and contrast if students come to you multiple times. If students come to you multiple times, you don't need to delete them weekly. If they do not come anymore, you delete them. So if you don't delete them, their records will be up there so that you can compare. You can say, see, this is how you improve. Now, this may not look very promising in a single words, but in a longer sentences, that you will be able to see that some students are struggling with some consonants or some syllable, that how they gradually improve themselves. Okay, so that's the thing. You can always go to the student progress and see how things go. That's how you use it. Let's go back to the exercise. Apart from a single words, what other things can we do? Do we want them to read something more? Like to gently disagree. Can you give me a phrase or a sentence that I can gently disagree on?
That is interesting.
Okay, that's interesting. Mhm.
Well, if that's implicit enough.
That's quite implicit. Well, okay. That's interesting, but I have to disagree with you. Let's make it longer. All right, that's interesting, but I have to disagree with you. Okay, and then I'm saving this. So this time you will be having a second reading task. Let's see how it goes. For those who are online, sorry for not using the microphone because I was typing previously. But what we are doing now is that we are making the second exercise for a sentence level.
That's interesting, but I have to disagree with you.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, that's my point. Just give me 100. Close enough. That's interesting. I have to disagree. You speak English?
You're going to show 2 points.
Yeah, I know.
I failed. It's never given me a It's a tough audience. Maybe we need to sound more like.
All right. So here's what I got here. As a teacher, I want you to look at this interface as well because that's what you're about to use. Look at this, you click it, and then you can see the students recording. Now here you got so many people here, right? What we need is to see that overall that how students do. So if you go back to let's see, if you go back to sorry, where is this? The overall thing, then you will be able to see here the text analyzer. The fully recognized one will go with the green one, and somewhere in between will go with the yellow one, and the red ones are the one are not being properly detected. Okay, so here's how you can see if students has multiple recordings. You can go to the student's account and they will analyze that what syllable or what kind of words the students constantly pronounce it, needs improvement. You know what? Although we're saying that we are not here to, correct their pronunciation one by one, but we don't want that, mispronunciation to be fossilized. That is the area needs improvement, and that's something that you're responsible to point them out, okay, in a kindly gesture, right? All right, so that's the thing. Okay. Third one, let's do with another exercise, saying if we talked about how to kindly disagree with people in your session, if you just talked about the topic, then what kind of exercise you can give out to your student? What are some ways of saying to kindly disagree. You can ask them questions. And then what will come is that they can answer by themselves. But you can also, they can answer by themselves because it's an open-ended question. But you can also insert in some expected answer. Those are the things that you talked about in the class, right? So that they don't go too far. And you know what? The system will detect those words as keywords and to rate the content. Okay, so previously they are just rating the pronunciation, nothing has to do with the content, right? But here they can rate the content. And the content is the content agreed, discussed in the session. So let's say, how about we have the word disagree, interesting, anything? Well, let's just have these two, all right? And I want you to try with this one. Well, if you are a successfully enrolled student in a class, supposedly you don't need to use the QR code every time. So if you are, having a student using this, and they surely want to use this, you probably will spend some time working on the process with them to make sure that they are properly enrolled.
I think you're better off being a monitor. Really insulting. Being a lawnmower. Which is what I did for 10 years as a child. That too. Yeah, but you didn't know, we didn't know those keywords. So imagine that your question is more specific. Yeah.
Because the first time they just said wrong.
Yeah, but my pronunciation is fluency. Which is funny.
All right, thank you very much for taking this task. As I go to the screen recording, I can see lots of things are being covered there. Let's just quickly take some of these for example. Bree, do you mind if I take yours? For example? All right. So, all right. So here you got a text and then you can, okay, and then you can listen to what students say. Did you have the word that you talked about being stated up there? When you say something, is it like words generated up there? Huh? Only the word interesting. So here with this task, because you only detect the content. So that it's something that if you are working, you can only work on the stuff that existing there, okay? Existing there, saying that your notes that you work together or the resources given from the center, right? You say, let's take a look at this. These are something they can do, all right? Let's create another type of exercise. Let's take a look at the reading with an image here. A lot of the time, students are describing some status, right? Or they are making some graphic organizers to express their ideas. So that image can be something put it here, okay? With the reading with image, okay? You can work with them with how they can say about it, and you put the picture here, and then you can put the answer there so that they can, try to exercise with this one. That's how you do with the reading with image, okay?
Small question. So you're saying we could upload like an image of a graph?
Here.
Say, the question would be, can you describe the trend line or something like that?
Yes, exactly. All right. So this is something they could use for sure. Or a flow chart explaining the procedures, right? Or bar charts, lots of bar charts talking about trends. Can be a pie chart talking about percentage and talking about the majority of the group engaging. All right. So this reading with images, how you use them. All right. They can be some question. I'm going to still use here. If students coming to you with a piece of writing and they are struggling how to introduce their topic or how to close their topic, then you can put the body part here, and ask them to give a quick introduction. So the question is, can you summarize that and make an introduction? Okay, so they can practice how to say that to draw out some key points based on their writing. Okay, so that's also something. And with that part, the system will read out if they want to. The system will read out the whole paragraph, so they get a chance to listen to what they're saying. Okay, that also can be adopted to a paragraph level, so that the students can draw on a thesis statement, or draw on a topic sentence, or draw on a conclusion sentence. Okay, so this is how you can also work on that question with answer. Okay, right. But with the question here, we can go with a lot more, right? Tell me about what you have learned with today's session. What's the most challenging part? What's the most rewarding part? Things like that. Simply by inviting your students to tell you more, or they can, have a synthesis of what they encountered today. Can also be something. So as a kind gesture, if you're engaging them, inviting them to do so for the first time, you can also do that, right? Or you find that your time is very limited, but you feel like there's something more to, maintain a really consistent, good time management. You say, I like to hear you more, but let's do this. Okay, I've assigned some questions up there. Feel free to record them. Okay? All right. And the image here could simply be with image, and here could be image with description. So image here, you can ask them to just describe on their own, less scaffold. Okay? So here is more controlled, guided to open. As you can see, the task here moves like this. Okay? It can also be a video that they can react to. So what can you do? You can ask them to simply record them, or when they come to the session, you can record them, and you say, I'm going to upload to YouTube, but I'm not going to open that to everybody, just the link for you and me, right? I'm going to upload that there. When you come back, could you briefly talk about the principle we talked about today, about how to make a good presentation, and give yourself a critique, a friendly critique, things like that. That can also be something. Or simply, you know what, we now have lots of videos made talking about presentations, talking about academic English. They are all online. Simply by putting the video link here, ask them to summarize what you have learned through this, right? So that they can talk about it. Okay? So you're working on public speaking, right? A very powerful start would be the first step. And here is a video link. I'm going to put it in. I want you to look at it and then tell me what you've learned. And so, Anthony, that's you. I saw you out there. Mei Xing, that's oh, Michelle is you, things like that, right? Give them some nice surprise and have the link between you and the resources and the students, everything linked together. Now for the last one, I would like to leave it here with the session, leave it here is the self-practice. Saying that your student has already used this Sensei for some while, and they kind of understand each task type could help them with something. And there, you can open a self-practice. You just say, this is for your own use. And then you create. And then when they get in, they can do whatever they want to. They can put in words that they want to repeat after. They can put in sentences they want to repeat after. They can put paragraphs that they want to read out loud. They can put questions that they can answer by themselves 1 time, 2 times, or even more times. They can put the graphs that they're about to describe. They can put a TED Talk link there and talk about it to reveal their opinion just for their own use. Okay? So they can be everything for them. All right? So once your students are, familiarized with this platform is designed, and the way that we incorporate into the tutoring sessions provides various of possibilities for them to improve. Okay? So here's how we suggest that this can be used with this very short workshop. But again, this is just a start. At the end of the semester, we will be meeting again. By that time, I hope I can have lots of successful examples from you telling me how you used it. Okay?